We're going to be off and running here. Hopefully this translates somewhat to audio. I'd probably recommend, I don't know, watching it on YouTube. So let's play. It's 2 clips. They're each like I think 2 minutes long. Let's just see what we got going here.
Bronny.
Okay, first, right off the bat, I'm sorry to interject. I don't watch the Skip Bayless show. This is my first exposure to it. Is this always what he wears? Like he's got a black shirt, plain black shirt with a gold chain. It kind of looks like he's trying to recreate that rock. Like, does he have a fanny pack on beneath that picture? But that's not a turtleneck. So I don't, what did we do? Like the gold chain and the plain black shirt. It's like, looks like Meek Mill maybe trying to be the Rock here. I don't know. This is just right off the bat. I'm already turned off.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
The other thing too is I'm not going to criticize. I hate criticizing appearances, but as someone who was most recently called, what was it in the comments? Looks like an AI Disney character, an AI generated Disney character. I feel like I'm allowed to say this. He kind of looks like, I don't know. Like, can we pick I've been tanning before, full disclosure, but like, can we pick how aggressive you want to be with it? Like right now, he kind of looks like Ted Danson decided to get a dye job and then go tanning exclusively in beds that have like year-old bulbs or maybe Planet Fitness bulbs at this point. I don't really know what he's trying to do here, but I don't like that. And he just looks so miserable at this point. You get paid a bunch of money to give bad sports takes for a living. Be happier, my guy.
Delivered now with the Lakers. He's on a guaranteed Laker contract. There's no G League involved here.
Oh boy. Okay. Inaccuracy right off the bat. So it is a guaranteed deal. The 4th year for Bronny James's contract is a team option. There's going to be the G League is involved. They already, I think, came out and said, JJ Redick, I believe, that the plan is for him to spend a ton of time with the Lakers G League affiliate. So they was at the Erie Bay Lakers still. So there is G League involved, which is exactly what you want to happen for someone drafted towards the end of the 2nd round. Even just like 1st round picks being in the G League, if there isn't, you're dealing with on a team that has title aspirations. I don't know if the Lakers should really have those aspirations, but there's going to be some G League minutes involved here.
He's going to be on the Laker roster, as I said, from day one, and he's going to play.
Okay, so, looks like you might be need to finishing a thought here. Yes, he's going to be on the Lakers roster. You're right on that, Skip. He is not like, what is the over under on the number of games, real Laker games that Bronny plays in? I would assume they're only going to be like massive blowouts, and maybe we have this sort of fanfare of, we need to see Bron and Bronny on the court together. But I will set the over under the number of NBA games, or let's do total minutes. If you're giving me 500 minutes, I'm going to take the under.
Fairly significant minutes fairly quickly. I don't know how many that'll be, and I am
again, no. If he is playing fairly significant minutes fairly quickly, I don't know what the Lakers are doing. And this is just like, I want to know where he's going with this point, because this was never the intention to draft Bronny to have him play a bunch of minutes. And I think JJ Redick made that clear when they were talking about getting him into their player development program.
A Bronny fan. In fact, I think Bronny is built even tougher than his father is, because Bronny's been through a lot in his life.
Whoa, oh my God, this is idiotic. I know you probably get paid to be this caricature of an actual sports analyst, but I will not diminish what Bronny went through. I think one that gets underplayed is the attention in the social media age, and also having LeBron as your father. Mir Vader wrote an incredible piece of The Ringer called The Weight and Weight of Bronny. You talk about that incredible title of Bronny James. There's that pressure that I don't think anyone necessarily can relate to. And you have to deal with that. This is a young kid. And then he had that cardiac arrest episode last summer. And that's ridiculously tough to come back from. You're going to sit here and tell me that he has been through more than LeBron James, who during his adolescence, from what just based off stuff that we've read, was couch surfing at one point with his mom, didn't have a permanent home, was living with coaches. There was concerns about how unsupervised he was at one point. But Bronny James has been through more. This is just, now I'm at a point where I'm not criticizing Bronny James here, but like, he has had a level of safety that LeBron James was basically never insured while he was growing up. And this is just such a blasphemous comment to make. I mean, the cardiac arrest thing with Bronny James, that is scary as hell. I can't imagine what that was like for Savannah and LeBron to have to see your kid go through something that you're just not supposed to see someone in their youth go through, adolescence go through. But like, he's been through more than LeBron James. Like, oh, and even if you want to talk about, you want to throw off court stuff out of the equation, coming in as this highly touted prospect, but like where your safety net wasn't, like, if at the end of the day, like if Bronny doesn't pan out, he is now signed, and LeBron would have signed a massive contract too, but like there's generational wealth set up for him. I'm not saying he couldn't get another job, work really hard. I'm not saying he won't even be a good NBA player, but there's just like a fail safe there for him that wasn't there for LeBron. So this is just like, my God. Let's see if I even make it through this entire clip.
In the harshest spotlight any kid could ever be thrust into as LeBron James Jr.
Fair in terms of spotlight, but what's tougher to deal with? Spotlight, or maybe not knowing where your next meal or is coming from, or where you're going to sleep that night, that week, where you're going to be living the next year? What's tougher to deal with? Skip, I'm asking you.
I love how Bronny's handled this. I get a good feeling every time I watch him not only play basketball, but just handle himself, carry himself.
That is one. I want to know how much of Bronny James playing basketball Skip Bayless has watched. So we set Bronny James's rookie minutes over under at 500. I'm going to go over under 5 minutes that Skip has sat down and watched even Bronny James highlights. I'm going to smash that under. And also, if he's watching Bronny James handle himself, this is just...
Kid's got a backbone. Kid's got guts. Kid's got principle and character. His parents did a good job raising him.
Hell yeah, I respect it. We got to give credit where credit is due. We tend to lionize these athletes when you don't know them personally. And there's a lot of performative jokes made at LeBron's expense, and many of them are just hilarious. I will say, even if you cringe at some of the stuff he does say, or maybe some of the social media posts that he has, it does seem, and I'm not saying that other NBA players aren't. I think people went after Jason Tatum for the comments he made about having a kid, how he initially didn't want Deuce when he was younger. I mean, he was, what is he? Jason Tatum was 19 now, so he carried it 2 years ago. So he's 19 then, and having a kid, like, that's something that you have to reconcile with. But LeBron James does seem like a good parent or an involved dad, and that's just the view from afar. So it's really cool to see people recognize that part of LeBron. And like, for even someone like Skip to say that, I fave that. I fave that part of this.
I think he'll be more calm, cool, and collected in the eye of next year's storm than even his father will be.
That's probably because he will be playing in the G League, and LeBron will be trying to win actual NBA basketball games as the best player on his team and one of the best players of all time. But carry on.
I think he'll play pretty well alongside his father, but it is going to be circus material because you have a first-time head coach trying to juggle minutes with Bronny and proven veterans who are not going to love it when Bronny gets his 12 minutes, 14 minutes, and 16 minutes, and maybe...
That is actually a good point and semi-interesting. I push back on the proven veteran aspect of this. Yeah, a lot of these veterans have just proven that they shouldn't be guaranteed minutes. I mean, you look at this Laker roster, and if everyone's healthy, okay, yeah, LeBron, Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves. Who is Bronny playing in front of those guys? None. So now you get into the Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt. Yeah, better track records. I guess Gabe Vincent might play Bronny's position. Jared Vanderbilt's immaterial. Bronny's not going to take minutes from him. Jalen Hood-Schifino, I mean, are we going to worry about, I guess, Max Christie? That's the reason they hired JJ Redick, was to develop Max Christie. So I am interested to see how they kind of juggle that. But what makes it a circus is because it's LeBron, and it's because places like, who skips on Fox Sports? Is the Skip Bayless show on Fox Sports? Again, my first exposure to the Skip Bayless show, and I can't take my eyes off this gold chain. I just honestly can't. Like, this looks like, my God, looks like Eric Roberts forgot that he was Eric Roberts right now. I just don't understand the outfit. Maybe I need to check out other Skip Bayless show clips, but I am interested to see how JJ Redick handles that dynamic as a first-time head coach, and also just the framing that he's LeBron James's podcast co-host. Those aren't his credentials, but they have that relationship built in there. So not, as far as Skip Bayless takes go, that one was okay.
Maybe even some nights 20 minutes a game playing alongside, if not in place of, his father.
I really want to see the Lakers sub out LeBron for Bronny, but like I want to see them do it spitefully. I want JJ Redick to have a game plan in place or wanted a certain play run, and LeBron doesn't, and then he just gets benched for his kid. How funny would that be? I'd be with it.
I think Bronny will be pretty good. I think he'll become a clutch 3-point shooter. I've always gotten the feeling that Bronny had a bigger clutch gene than his father does.
Based off what? I literally just pulled my microphone out of its stand. What is this man talking about? This is going to ruin the rest of the clip because I got way too over exuberant here. Based on what? Like, what is it? He has the more clutch? Is it maybe because he learned to drive on a standard car and LeBron only does self-driving cars or gets chauffeured around? I don't, honestly, what makes Bronny more clutch than LeBron? What? I need the evidence. What is it?
McDonald's game, he was in the spotlight and they went to him late 2 or 3 times and he just nailed threes. He did not shoot the three well at USC, but I'm giving him a complete and utter break because I'm knocking on wood for him. He had a serious heart condition.
He did and does have a serious heart condition, but I don't know that 2 or 3 plays in a McDonald's game makes you more clutch than one of who's like perhaps the greatest NBA player of all time, who's always been a playmaker first. And there's a narrative that he's always passing out of drives or out of situations in crunch time. Being too deferential has always been overblown. Just pretty mind melting stuff here.
That waylaid him to start his first year of college basketball at USC, and it just never quite got going. And I get it. And that team never quite got going around Isaiah Collier, who I thought was going to be the first pick in the draft, and he fell all the way to the bottom of the first round. I'm throwing all that out because I think that Bronny, at only 6'1.5", will become a very credible, if not difference-making, on-ball defender. I think that.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Yeah, you could be 6'1" and be a credible on-ball defender. Tying that into his shooting and his clutch gene, certainly interesting. I want like more evidence as to why Skip thinks this.
Body of his, which already looks pretty good to me, will become more.
That's a good point. I mean, this dude looks like LeBron. I mean, this might have something to do with the resources available to him, but Bronny looks kind of like chiseled and built in a way that even LeBron didn't seem like coming in, where he even still had that young, stringy look to him. But I think it's also, what is LeBron? 6'8", 6'9". And so if Bronny's 6'1", 6'2", around that area, a little bit easier to fill out there.
More and more of a man body. So I like what Bronny will bring, except it's going to be very difficult on JJ Redick to juggle minutes and egos down the bench. Bronny.
Yeah, I would agree with that point from Skip, that it's going to be hard to juggle those egos, but we're operating under the assumption that there's going to be pressure on him to play Bronny in NBA minutes. And I think if he's getting run in the G League, that's and playing with the actual Lakers in practice, and maybe he earns minutes that way. I don't think like if it gets to a point where the Lakers are just playing Bronny over some of these veterans, like if he's taking Austin Reeves' minutes and he sucks, then yeah. But I feel like we're manufacturing a lot here because his name is Bronny James and he's on the team with his dad. So I can't bring myself to worry about that. The circus is going to come from all of us, including ourselves that are covering this, and Skip, who's really going to milk it.